Move over, Bugsnax and Halo Infinite and American Catharsis Simulator 2020. There's a new video game in town that's actually out. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout is fun, and it's a fun game to play. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. It's the Battle Royale genre, but modulated for a series of mini-games with a game show conceit. In each show, players compete in a random selection of these games, whittling down to a crowned victor. You got obstacle course races that work like physics-based platformers, puzzle games, physics-based puzzle game platformers, and sports. Some of these are team games, some are individual. You can toggle usernames on or off, which is really nice. There's no voice chat, no items, Fox only, Final Destination. You play as one of the titular guys, who are the descendants of both the rubber ninjas you got from quarter capsule vending machines in Perkins or Savers, and Club Penguin. You have many customizability options, and you can unlock or buy new patterns, colors, and outfit halves as you play, to mix and match your look. As far as in-game currency goes, I've not felt the desire to spend any real human money, so for the time being, I give this a 3 on the microtransactions table. You get a solid number of the purple things by playing, and so far not many of the expensive or crown-costing outfits have been that enticing. The gameplay is simple, chaotic, and fun. You have a set running speed, and your actions are made up of jump, dive, which is a kind of jump but also isn't, and grab. Hello? I said grab. There, grab. Thank you. As you can see, grab and jump can be used to climb this ledge and this ledge only, and you can parlay a jump into a mid-air dive, which can save your bacon at times, but doesn't help you cross the finish line any faster than plain old running, however spectacular it may be. But most of the time it isn't about winning, it's about qualifying. You'll even see players hanging out by the finish line, flexing their swag, because they're in no real danger of disqualifying, as long as they're paying attention. The brilliance, and part of what helps keep the game more party fun than viciously competitive, is the verisimilitude of the physics of ordinary people on physical challenge game shows. The guys are, as indicated by their muffled voices, wearing full-body video game spandex. But the real trick is that you are as clumsy as you would probably be in real life. You'll trip constantly, you'll roll, fumble around, waiting until your bean pushes themselves upright. Sometimes you'll fall down if you land a jump irregularly, or even by walking down a small step. Because of that, I've found that you can't get too mad if you fall off a ledge or disqualified due to fumbliness. And it makes victory all that much sweeter. It helps level the playing field. So even if you are familiar with the microscopic nuances of the controls and the courses, you're still not immune to messing up or getting gopped, whether from the obstacles, other players, or yourself. Speaking of the courses, let's do a quick roll call for all the currently available games to play. There's the HVAC. Now, here's the tricky part. You have to wait for the fan blade to move and... Okay, now here's the hard part. Here's the tricky part. Yeah... Let's just move on, shall we? There's balance beams. There's the most important rule in comedy. Psychonauts 3, Cashier's Nightmare. There's the Pit and the Pendulum.
Do you know where you are, Bartholomew? You are about to enter hell.
Round and Round by Rat.
Get on down to Real Fake Doors, that's us! Check this out! Won't open! Won't open! Not this one! Not this one! None of them open!
Do the hustle. Time your jumps just right. Time your jumps just right, but also hustle. Too much Pepto. Scratch and sniff memory game. There's also Yoink. Team Yoink. Team Big Ol' Cotton Candy Mess Around.
Larga, va a venir el disparo, centro, el arquero, gol.
Brazilians sink to their knees. The only word you can think of is total disbelief right now. Germany 7.
Full body Quidditch.
Ball fondlers?
Yeah, I could go for some ball
Yeah,
fondlers.
ball fondlers!
Cluster Cluck. Please help push. This is a 2-person job minimum. Come on, guys, please help.
The second challenge, the word of God. Only in
footsteps of God will he proceed. Jehovah. But in the Latin alphabet, Jehovah begins with an I. J. Oh dear. Oh. Idiot. Latin Jehovah starts with an
I. Sootopolis City Jam Extreme Edition, John Yoink Chapter 3 Parabellum, Reznor from Super Mario World Simulator, and
Bullshit Mountain. On Bullshit Mountain, they believe that if they built it, it was because of their success and a little quick moxie and freedom juice. But if life hasn't worked out for them, it is the government on their back.
Most of the games are a balanced mix, a cocktail of 2 parts chaos, 1 part luck, and 1 part skill. The skill usually comes later. Don't expect to win on your first try at any of these games except Perfect Match, but even if you miss the instructions during the loading screens, you can pretty easily, but not always, tell what the objective is or how to play once you start. There are strategies you can rely on, certain paths that are more advantageous, and so on, but you'll get better at the early stage games the more you play them, and get a better handle on the later stage games the same way once you've conquered the early stuff. Because of the stumbly-fumbly design of the characters, you'll know the luck when you experience it, and because of the sheer number of other players at any given time, the chaos is inherent. You might fall all the way behind on a course like DoorDash simply because the other players are all vying for the same square foot of space you're trying to traverse, or you might manage to jump dive over their Rat King mass. And that's what I like about the game. It's unpredictable. Every match is going to play differently. Even if you find yourself at the back of the pack, there's often incentive to not give up. There's always an obstacle ahead giving others a hard time that you could clear in no time. A lot of it reminds me of carnival games. You have a tactic, but you're still at odds with however many players there are, and there's a hefty helping of randomization that can throw you off, and someone might pop their balloon first. And planned strategies can only last you so long. Often the smartest thing to do is whatever feels smartest and most doable in the moment. Except for going into this fan. You might think you can easily do it, but you can't do it. You can't time it right. You simply can't. Just take one of the other forked paths. There's almost no way that, oh hey, I got through. Oh, I got through again. Dang, I must be pretty good at this. Wow. Okay, well, now I'm just showing off. At this point, it's just unfair to the other players. Speaking of other players, you can use the grab button on them in any given game. In some cases, this is strategic, but in most cases, it's merely to be a jerk. Unless you're playing a team game or a tail grab, latching your sweaty mitts onto an opponent slows you down just as much as them, so there's no tactical advantage in it for you. If you do want to be a jerk, incur that hate mail. It's just not for me.
A few minutes later.
Sometimes though, if you're facing the other player, you can grab onto each other, and it looks like a hug. That's nice. That's in the spirit of the game. That's fun. That's sweet. I haven't hugged anyone in 5 months. That's the longest I've ever gone without hugging anyone in my entire life, by a margin of 5 months. And every time someone decides to go into a public place without a PPE mask on, they are extending that hiatus, making me wait ever longer to feel the embrace of friend or family again. So to reiterate my earlier point, don't be a jerk. In general. Stop being a fucking... I only have a few criticisms of Fall Guys. Number one is that there are so many times when another player grabs me when they didn't grab me, but the game decides that they grabbed me, and now they've got my tail? If I'm feeling generous, I'll assume this is because of a disparity between my gameplay reality and their gameplay reality, where perhaps on their system and their game, they are close enough to grab me, but in my game, they appear not to be. But I have no evidence to support this theory. I only have plenty of evidence to support the theory that it's pure bullshit. Now, in Egg Scramble, I can find my own grabs being inconsistent when I'm trying to grab an egg but I end up grabbing a player, and that's kind of charming in the chaotic way the game is. But even within that, you have to be really precise in where you aim your body for the grab to grab the thing you want to grab. Which makes something like this seem even more like malarkey. No. Just no.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop fucking lying.
My second criticism is that the physics of the giant sports balls isn't as realistic as it should be. Could be. Considering that everything else, even with the clumsiness built in, has a fair and realistic sense of physics and weight to it, even the balls that are obstacles, it seems weird that the giant inflatable volley and soccer balls would feel less bouncy. This very well could be intentionally crafted wonkiness to keep things a balanced 40-40-20 split of chaos, luck, and skill. I mean, look at whatever the hell is happening here. Yes, it's odd critiquing controls when part of the appeal is that you can't be an adept physical performer. I'm perfectly happy grappling at these balls from odd angles, lunging at them and being really sloppy, ramming into other guys and falling all over each other while we try to pull out ahead and shoot straight, but I feel like they need to give a little more than they do. You end up feeling like you're doing all the work. While it is very satisfying to see some graceful athleticism by happenstance from the very clean goal-getting tip-offs, I feel like unimpededly jump diving at the balls should propel them forward with an equal amount of force more often than it doesn't. That's all I'm saying. My third problem with this game is that in between matches, I want to put a snack in my mouth. More than the microtransactions, I'm incentivized to snack, which isn't a great impulse when you're low on quarantine supplies. One session finally finished off my big Costco box of Nature Valley sweet and salty bars. For once I was thankful to be out of peanut M&Ms. After some first hand-to-mouth experience, I'd recommend Teddy Grahams. They're large and take long enough to chew that you can't eat too many overall, yet they're small enough that you can eat a lot at a time, if you consider 3 to 5 a lot.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
This also ties in with the way you can get hooked into playing for hours at a time, even when you don't intend to. Assuming the servers are good, you can get into a new game in seconds, and if you disqualify late in the show, you might feel extra motivated to just try and win the next one. Here's footage of my first victory. And this is when I should have stopped playing, because I didn't stop playing for several more hours until I won my next game. Just keep a keen eye and steady constitution for any stopping points. Another thing is we need to be able to see the victory poses in the shop, otherwise I'm not going to spend an obscene amount of crowns on them. You can preview the emotes. Oh, see, that's actually kind of cool. But because I lost, I'm not going to buy it. Also, the pirate outfit when you're on a yellow team makes the bean look too much like a minion, and I'm not sure why this is. Did they ever wear pirate hats? Anyway, can someone do something to fix that? I'll also say that there are 3 distinct purple seesaws in Seesaw that become roadblocks for longer than would probably be optimal. Okay, before we continue with the video, I need to point out that as of the day of almost uploading this video, I discovered that they have made major updates to a lot of the levels and seem to have addressed this particular issue I'm bringing up almost entirely, but I've already edited all about it, so in the interest of not having wasted my time, I'm going to keep the entire critique in. Just remember that it's completely moot at this point, which, if you think about it, is a really good thing, because it means that my criticism was received and acted upon before the video could be seen by anyone. This isn't just prescience, this is, as a first-time video game critic, a complete home run. Anyway, at some point in the last week or so, they updated a lot of the levels and changed a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to cover any of that or include any of it in the video because it is not pertinent really, but I just wanted to include this in the video before I got 0 comments about it. Thank you. Also, they didn't fix this shit! Since they can be approached from one of 2 independent sides, invariably one side gets more players, which tilts too far in that direction, meaning that at a certain point everyone jumping aboard will fall because nobody can get to the other side of the scale, and everyone on the other approach are now stuck waiting for the falling folks to give it a rest. So both sides are stuck waiting for a little balance. This is especially egregious on the first of these 3 particular purple seesaws. So did they fix the underlying issue of waiting to get on a seesaw? You be the judge. I can't make more of this video. It's too long already. Seesaw is actually an interesting case of the situations where you have an unspoken and advantageous incentive to work together with other players in a non-team setting. Sometimes in order to advance, you'll have to act in ways that allow others to advance as well. During the course, I found myself thinking, is this a time to work for myself or a time to work with others? And usually there comes a point where your communal work affords you the right angle at which to jump ahead, leaving anyone on your seesaw behind to fend for their own balance. So it gives you a taste of being comrades and an exploiter of labor at the same time. Little brief Animal Farm sprinkled throughout this obstacle course. Actually, I take that back. The better media comparison is Don't Think Twice, where an improv group is shaken up when one of the team gets to advance to the seesaw of Saturday Night Live. Anyway, my point is that there's a lot to ruminate on while you play this silly game. During Team Tail Tag, if you're defending a tail, it can be advantageous to run alongside opposing players who also have them, since neither of you can be a threat to the other. Also, watch out if you're standing in these convenient resting spots, your own teammates can swipe your tail, which both proves and makes moot the idealism of these corner posts. Yeah, that's right, I'm glad we lost, you weasel. So, Fall Guys is a lot of fun. A unique spin on the Battle Royale genre that feels like it's in the same family tree as Splatoon and Mario Kart, specifically 64's Versus mode, the most perfect party game there ever was. A lot of the music reminds me of Splatoon as well, some similar instrumentation. Speaking of, shout out to my favorite part of the soundtrack, this drop right here.
I love that stuff.
It has a colorful, simple surface with just enough mechanical depth to keep things interesting. It's the little things, like the username toggle, which is actually tactically advantageous in Tail Tag and Royal Fumble. Or how if you don't qualify, you can quit back to the main menu and start a new show really quickly. Or how once you do qualify, you get to spectate the players still running the course, shifting amidst these other bumbling bean boys as they try to rank. You can root for them or laugh as they get flung way off course, as you likely have many, many times. right at the end, between the round concluding and the reveal of the remaining players, there's a second or two of silence on some random spectatee as the sound drops out and you just hear the mechanical whirring of the machinery that's caused you your troubles. These are very amusing, and I'll just let a bunch of them play out before I get to my score. Fantastic. I give Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout a 44,444 out of 444,444,444. Hey, thanks for watching our video. The Gameless Wonders are here to make more videos, just probably not at a rate that makes the algorithm prefer us. So if you do prefer us, hit that subscribe button and maybe the notification button as well. Why don't you go subscribe to our main channel, Dateless Wonders, where we've been making videos for over a decade now to tide you over until we put more stuff here. We actually don't really know what all we're going to be doing yet with this channel. If you want to feel like you're in on the ground floor, I mean, this is the ground floor. Going up!